And a pleasant good evening to you and yours, and welcome to the Brevard Sports Network. Alan Slaughterzinski and Caleb Brown with you here tonight for what is going to be arguably just one of the most anticipated high school baseball games in this county, probably since the last two times these te- since the last two times these teams got together in a regional championship as they introduce a beautiful night for baseball here. Did you explain to him that? What'd you say? As there's a radar gun down there. All right, so these two teams, the history these two teams have, it's part of the reason of their storied rival. This is the fourth time in the past 6 years that Melbourne and Vieira are meeting in this same exact situation. The Vieira Hawks come in as the number one seed because last week they beat the Bulldogs 7-1 in the district championship game. If you're a historian and you believe that history matters in terms of future outcomes, well, then you may want to turn down the volume if you're a Vieira fan on this next statement. The team that has won the district championship in the previous three meetings in the state series has lost. So you go back and you take a look at that. These two teams have met 12 times since 2018, and they have split these games 6-6. How close has it been between these two? Well, the last time a team won two in a row in the same season was back in 2018 when Melbourne did it. You look at this, a 7-1 victory earlier this season. Vieira fell to Melbourne 1-0 in that one. Last year, a 5-4 Vieira win. Back in 2020, a 15-2 Melbourne win. Then we get into the district champion regional semifinal matchups. Back in 2019, these two teams met four times. Melbourne took the first matchup 13-2. Vieira bounced back in early April to win 7-6. In the district championship game, it was all Melbourne 4-0. But just 9 days later, Vieira would advance to the regional championship game with a 2-1 win. In 2018, the teams would meet four times again. And again during the regular season would split as Melbourne won 8-4. Vieira bounced back to win 10-2. However, in the district championship game, that was won by Vieira. And then in the regional semifinals, Melbourne won that, and then the same outcome in 2016 as well. These are two different, totally different baseball teams on the way that they get wins accomplished. Vieira doesn't beat themselves. They feel the ball well. In fact, I was talking to manager Pete Donovan before the game, and he said Melbourne reminds, or Vieira reminds him a lot of Melbourne Central Catholic in that they don't hit the cover off the baseball, but they don't beat themselves. And every year that Tom Dooley has a team that can hit the baseball, they go on to win a state championship. And, of course, Melbourne Central Catholic did that in 2013 and in 2019. So Melbourne this year, or Vieira this year, comes in batting 299 as opposed to Melbourne, who's batting 369. So 70 points higher as a team in the lineup. We're going to pause here for the national anthem. There's our old friend Graham McGowan down there on the umpire crew tonight. right, the national anthem has concluded. One of my favorite spots to broadcast from. No offense to the Melbourne faithful. I love leaning over a fence on a ladder and broadcasting games. I think we get a great view. But this gives us just that picture perfect view here as the umpires, three of them tonight. Our old buddy Graham McGowan down at third base tonight. But back to these two teams. And these are just two totally different ball clubs. The Melbourne Bulldogs, they smacked the cover off the baseball. There is no doubt about that. Extra added incentive for Melbourne tonight, who came in as a 5 seed. Rarely would a 5 seed be put in this situation, and should they win this game, be able to host a regional championship. But guess what? The winner of tonight's game will do just that. Whether it's, obviously, if it was Vieira, they would host because they're a 1 seed. But Melbourne, who's a 5 seed, caught a break as the bottom half of the bracket is 6 Winter Haven and 7 Lakeland. So whoever wins this game tonight will host the regional championship coming up on Tuesday. Let's take you through the starting lineups for both teams. For the Melbourne Bulldogs, leading off and playing center field will be Jake Richardson. Batting second and doing the pitching tonight will be the South Carolina commit, Trey Wheeler. Batting third and playing right field, Mike Petite. He's a UAB commit. Behind the dish tonight is going to be Jake Weatherspoon. Down at shortstop and batting fifth is going to be Gavin Ziegler. Batting sixth and playing first base, Ryan Hopping. Batting seventh and at second base, Brevin Smith. Batting eighth tonight, and just a fantastic game the other night in the Bulldogs' 12-6 win is freshman Bryson Ayala. Bryson had 5 RBIs in that one, and batting ninth will be Anthony Velez. On the hill tonight for the Vieira Hawks is going to be the junior, Camden Wicker. Wicker with an outstanding job last week against the Bulldogs. This is a round rematch of the district championship game between Wheeler and Wicker. Wicker comes in this season at 5-1 with a 1.94 ERA. Through the infield here as the crowd anxiously anticipates the first pitch. From first to third, it's Fano Cruz, Kyler Dwiggins, Edion Aspinall, and Robbie Behrens. From left to right, it's Luke Campbell. First pitch is a strike from Wicker. Luke Campbell in left, Jack Malatino in center, and Mikey Schmidt in right. Camden Wicker's battery mate tonight is junior power hitting catcher Alex Sosa. Wicker 0-1 to Richardson. The 0-1 on the outside corner, but just wide for a ball. 1 ball and 1 strike to Richardson. Jake comes in batting .418, and there's an offering from Camden, and the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Richardson with 5 home runs this year. He's got a triple, 10 doubles, and 21 RBIs for skipper Pete Donovan. The 1-2, and there's a shot. Dwiggins down and over to Cruz. 1 out. Good play there to stay down on that. This is a turf field. That is not real dirt you're looking at in case you've never been to USSSA Stadium. Stepping in now is going to be Trey Wheeler. Wheeler batting .348 this year. He's got 2 dingers, 5 doubles, 22 RBIs this year. Wheeler has been smoking the ball lately. Wicker's first offering to Trey is fouled back and off the screen for strike 1. On deck hitter is Michael Petite, who is, to say he's a hitting machine is understating what Petite does at the dish. We'll tell you about him next. The 0-1 from Wicker. And that ball is driven straight up the middle for a base hit as Trey Wheeler reaches, and we'll get a pinch runner for Trey, I'm sure. Mike Petite comes in, and all Petite's done this year is bat .463. He's got 6 home runs, 33 RBIs. All of that leads the Melbourne Bulldogs. Wheeler will stay at first and run for himself. Wicker to Petit. Outside, ball 1. I'd like to welcome everyone watching here tonight on the Brevard Sports Network. Thank you, as always, for your support. The 1-0 to Petit. And Petit hits this one, tails into the gap. Wheeler around second, on his way to third. Petit, Wheeler's going to score as Petit will stop at second base with a stand-up double as Trey Wheeler wheels all the way around for the first Melbourne run of the night. And the Bulldogs waste no time in getting on the scoreboard as Petit with a solid shot to the right center field gap. And it's 1-0 Bulldogs. As Jake Weatherspoon steps in. Weatherspoon, a .391 hitter. He's got 4 home runs. As a team, they've hit 24. Only one team in the county has more, and that's O'Galley. Keep your eye on Petit. He will try to swipe third. The pitch. That'll catch the outside corner for strike 1. 1-0 early here. Melbourne on top. Petit with the big double. Scores Wheeler from first. 0-1 to the Bulldogs catcher. That'll be 0-2. Same spot. Took a little off of it. Nice pitch by Camden. The on-deck hitter is Gavin Ziegler. There is a who's who of Brevard County student athletes in the crowd tonight. Wickers 0-2. Waste 1, 1-2. Good idea to waste it way out there. Witherspoon with an RBI opportunity. He's got 17 of them this year. Yeah, there was a line all the way down the stairs to get in here tonight. It's an outstanding crowd. The Melbourne softball team is here. The Vieira softball team is here. The reigning 2-time girls basketball player of the year is here. And Emma Risch. Everybody is here. Michelle said something happened to the audio. They can barely hear me. And there's a chopper to Edion Espinal up and over to first for the second out here as Petit advances to third. Are we good? Huh? What's wrong? It's got to be this thing right here. You got another lightning? All right, that ball is popped up.
And if you're returning down here to the booth, we'll give you a free level one.
See if this one will. Better. Outside. See if this does anything. Getting there. 1-1 with 2 outs here. Fouled back to the screen. And the count is a ball and 2 strikes. Yeah, I think we're okay. That's being prepared there. Having extra equipment on hand always helps. You never know. That ball is fouled back, and quickly Wicker is ahead of ball. And give me that. Just throw it away. We know it doesn't work. Just throw it away. Okay.
No, but what I'm saying is there's spurts, like you would go loud and then you would only reach the second bar.
All right, just switch it out. Pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. That ends the inning.
All tournaments in the 2022 FHSAA Baseball Championships, visit FHSAA.com. official website of the Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.
All right, bring me back. All right, let's try it out now.
Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida High School
You never know.
at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the
Sitting on the delay.
Network, the official online partner of the FHSA.
All right, I think we're good. All right, so I think we've got it off. Just here, give me that. All right, so let's recap the first inning. 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left as Melbourne takes a 1-0 lead here. I'd like to welcome in Kelly Doty watching here, and of course, want to say hello to Brock. Absolutely touched my heart last week when they won the district championship, and Alex Sosa, the first phone call made, FaceTime and Brock. It was just, I don't know, there's just not any words to describe that. All right, so Trey Wheeler scores on a Mike Petit double to the gap, and that's how the Bulldogs have taken a 1-0 lead here. Let's tell you a little bit about the South Carolina commit, left-handed southpaw pitcher. Last week, Vieira did a really good job of forcing Wheeler to work deep into counts. This year, Wheeler is 4-1 with a 0.89 ERA. He is got a lot of pitchers. In 39 and a third innings pitched this year, Trey's got 65 strikeouts. He's issued just 9 walks, surrendered 14 runs, 5 of them earned. Let's take you around the Vieira infield, which has done a spectacular job here in the last quarter of the season. From first to third, it's going to be Fano Cruz, Kyler Dwiggins, and Edion Espinal at short, Robbie Behrens at third. From left to right, it's going to be Luke Campbell, Jack Malatino, and Mikey Schmidt. Of course, Wheeler on the bump, I'm giving you the Hawks. So, over at first base is Ryan Hopping. Down at second base is Brevin Smith. Over at shortstop is Gavin Ziegler. And down at the hot corner is Bryson Ayala. From left to right, it's going to be Anthony Velez, Jake Richardson, and Mike Petit. Wheeler's battery mate behind the dish tonight is Jake Richardson. Now we're set. And the leadoff hitter for Vieira is Jack Malatino. Malatino has had an outstanding couple of weeks here for Vieira. He comes in batting .329. That's a 3-strikeout. Before I can even tell you, Wheeler sits him down looking. 1 out. That'll bring up Mikey Schmidt. Schmidt comes in batting .333 this year. Schmidt just a sophomore. The Hawks got back one of their captains in that regional quarterfinal game the other night. He is on deck in Edion Espinal. Wheeler, 0-1. Wheeler has thrown 5 pitches, and they've all been for strikes. 0-2 to Mikey Schmidt. The winner of tonight's game will take on Lakeland or Winter Haven, and they will host. Wheeler's 0-2. Little grounder back to Wheeler. He lobs it over to Hopping, and that's 2 outs here in the top of the first. That'll bring up Edion Espinal. Espinal leads, or is tied at least, with Alex Sosa, batting .406 this year. Espinal, 2 home runs, 3 triples, 4 doubles, and 14 RBIs this year for Edion. He and Fano in the pink cleats tonight, and oh my! Web gem down at third base by Bryson Ayala, and the freshman couldn't be any hotter. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. We go to the top of the second, 1-0 Melbourne. All right, we're back here. I'll tell you what, flashing a little leather there was Bryson Ayala, the freshman, who the other night had just an outstanding game at the dish. I was talking to Coach Pete Donovan about him before the game, and, you know, the biggest concern for Pete coming into this was his 3, 4, 5 guys weren't getting the job done at the plate. But Ayala the other night batting 8th and 9th with 5 RBIs in that one, and now flashing the glove down there. That's a beaut right there. A highlight reel maker for sure. As we head to the top of the second, 3 up, 3 down. And, and look, Edion Espinal couldn't get around any better on that Wheeler fastball there. So that's a positive if you're a Vieira fan. So, all right, we head to top of the second inning here. And it'll be Ryan Hopping, Brevin Smith, and the aforementioned Bryson Ayala. Hopping, Coach Donovan, we talked about the power-hitting nature of the Melbourne Bulldogs club this year. And, you look at that run differential, and, Vieira's got an impressive run differential as well, but you're talking 188 runs for Melbourne this year in their run differential. Donovan's pretty blessed. He's got a power-hitting first baseman, power-hitting catcher, power-hitting third baseman. So, As the Hawks gather around the mound, Alex Sosa. Well, speaking of Sosa, I want to thank the Vieira Hawks RBI Club for their sponsorship of not just tonight, but the other game. And I'm sure the RBI Club will want in on the regional final game should the Hawks advance tonight as Hopping steps in. First pitch from Wicker, blows it by him for strike one. This year, Hopping, another good year for the Salem University commit as he comes in, fouls that off, and Wicker is quickly ahead. Hopping this year batting .431. He's got 4 home runs, 5 doubles, and 28 RBIs. He is second this year on the Bulldogs with 28 runs batted in. Wicker 0-2 here to Hopping. Goes right after him, strikes him, or fouls it off, actually. Got a or no. Came through the glove. No, it went off the top. He had to foul it off, otherwise he'd be running. You know what I'm saying? So he had to get a piece of that for a foul ball. 0-2. Wicker went right after him. Let's see if he does it again. Nope, waste one on the outside corner. 1-2 to the senior. 1-0 if you're just joining us here. Beautiful night for baseball at USSSA Space Coast Stadium. High and outside, and it's 2-2. Brevin Smith is on deck. And you know what's coming if you follow Brevard Sports Network, and especially our baseball coverage. Ryan Hoppin doing his best, Caleb? Bee Gees impression as he's staying alive. Here's the 2-2, and he's worked the count full, 3-2. And Hopping fouls this one off down the first base line. There's Emma. There's Emma Risch right there. Down and you see Emma. I'm trying to wave to her. She can't see me. And then down in the front row, get back to the pitch. Strike 3 on the inside corner. And Hopping goes down on strikes. Perfect pitch location by Wicker. As Brevin Smith steps in. Smith, a .328 hitter this year. 20 RBIs. Wicker's first offering to him is right down Vieira Boulevard for strike one. The 0-1 down the first base line and foul. And either way you slice the pie there, back out on top of the hitter is Wicker. He went 0-2 to Hopping. He battled his way back. Let's see what Camden does here with another 0-2 pitch. And this one is hit deep in the left field, but the wind knocks it down, and Luke Campbell gets underneath of it and hauls it in for out number 2. That ball got up in a hurry, and the wind just knocked it right down as Bryson Ayala steps in. 2 outs now, and just the kind of start, if you're a Hawks fan, you were hoping for Camden Wicker here in the top of the second. And this one is lined and in the right field, and Bryson Ayala remains hotter than fire, if it's possible, as he gets a base hit. He had 4 the other night and 5 RBIs. Anthony Velez steps in. Velez this season is a 167 hitter. Low and outside, ball 1. This is the guy you want to go after here. Ayala takes about a 2-step lead, being held on by Feno Cruz. The pitch, strike. Great early zone established tonight by the home plate umpire. And consistent. The 1-1. And catches the outside corner. And the count to Velez is 1-2. Coach Pete Donovan down at third base. Coaching in his 23rd and final season. The 1-2 outside, and the count is even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here we go. Our first Deuces Wild situation of the night. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. What will Wicker deal up as the turn card on the table? He rocks, kicks, and fires. Strike 3. And that'll be the third and final out of the inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the second. 1-0 Melbourne. All right, welcome back here as we go to the bottom of the second inning. My cameraman is taking off to go get the umbrellas because there is threatening weather in the area here tonight. And for the Vieira Hawks, it's going to be Alex Sosa, Lucas Glendenning, and Luke Campbell. As Trey Wheeler absolutely with a stellar first inning. As Alex Sosa gets set to step in. Sosa, a .406 hitter this year. He's got 2 home runs. He's got a grand slam this year, too. 10 doubles, a triple, and 26 Vieira Hawk RBIs. Once again, thanks to the Vieira Hawk RBI Club. Wheeler's first offering, a lefty-to-lefty matchup, and Wheeler catches the outside corner for strike 1. Melbourne Bulldogs winning 17-6 in their spring game. The pitch, and Sosa with a drive cut off. And Alex Sosa with a leadoff single. And that'll bring up Lucas Glendening. Good-looking pitch there, but Sosa turned and put it out into the outfield for a base hit as Glendening steps in. And in case you're wondering, Melbourne's got a touchdown. Hunter Turner to Jalen Clark on a 48-yard touchdown. Also a fumble, scoop, and score by Eli Bostic and a field goal. And that's how the Bulldogs have gotten up front in football. I'm going to tilt the camera so you can see Alex. Lucas turns the bunt. That's the thing that I love about. Both of these teams. Unselfish play. Lucas Glendening is a cleanup hitter, squaring the bunt. In a game like this, back over to, what a move. Back over to first as the runner gets back. But just an unselfish hitter. I mean, Lucas this year's batting .329, 2 doubles, a triple, 21 RBIs. The pitch, and he squares the bunt again, and it's low for a ball. He's falling behind, 2 balls and 1 strike. There is a pinch runner. It's Zion Hernandez. Hernandez with 6 stolen bases in the postseason. He had 3 of them in the district tournament and led to a manufactured run against Melbourne in the district championship game. So Zion Hernandez, certainly a threat to go here, but Wheeler has one whale of a move over. Pitch, and that's low for ball 3. So the Hawks with a leadoff base hit, and now Wheeler is behind 3-0 to the number 4 hitter in the lineup. That's a bigger lead by Hernandez inside in a 4-pitch walk, and the Hawks have a little something brewing here in the bottom of the second inning with runners now at first and second with Luke Campbell coming up. As Campbell steps in, the left fielder batting .348 this year. He's got a home run, 19 RBIs, 31 hits. Gavin Ziegler will stand behind Zion Hernandez as Ryan Hopping now comes in. So it'll be interesting to see what Bob Doty does here. Will he ask Campbell to push one down, or will Campbell swing away here as Wheeler turns and steps back to second base? We're ready to go here. 2 on, none out. Bottom of the second, the pitch from Wheeler, and that curveball just catches the outside corner for strike 1. 1-0, Melbourne on top. Michael Petit with an RBI double that drove in Trey Wheeler. Wheeler with the sign from Richardson, or Weatherspoon rather. Rocks, kicks, and fires. And this one is lined in the right field. Got out there too quick, and they're going to hold. And that's a great move as the ball was thrown in and drilled the first base umpire. Great move by the first base coach to hold Zion Hernandez. And I'm going to tell you why. Because Michael Petit would have thrown him out. Nice piece of hitting by Luke Campbell. And the bases are loaded for Vieira with nobody out. Let's see, last night we saw a junior for O'Galley work his way out of a 1-out bases loaded jam with a 1-run lead, striking out the next 2 hitters he faced. Let's see what Wheeler does here with nobody out and bases juiced. Strike 1 on the outside corner. Hernandez at third. Glendening at second. Campbell at first. The batter is Fano Cruz. Cruz, a .239 hitter, but he'll drive him in. He's got 8 RBIs this year. The pitch, and there's a grounder foul in front of the plate, and Wheeler is ahead 0-2 to Fano. as the weather is quickly closing in on us from the right-hand side of the stadium. The 0-2 to Fano. And there's a grounder up the middle, and Brevin Smith gets at least one out, I think. No, he does not, but he does save a run, and nice job by Fano Cruz to punch that up the middle, and Fano picks up his 9th RBI, and the Hawks move station to station, and they score the run to tie it up.
Now batting for Vieira, the second baseman, number 5, Kyler Dwiggins.
3 hits and a walk in the inning as Kyler Dwiggins steps up. Still nobody out. Bases still loaded. Dwiggins a .232 hitter. High for a ball. Dwiggins has got a triple, 2 doubles, and 9 RBIs this year. The infield is in, and this one is down the first base line and just kicks foul. Ayala, Ziegler, Smith, and Hopping all in on the infield grass here. The outfield shaded midway to shallow. Wheeler 1-1 to Kyler. Strike 2 on the curveball, 1-2. Dwiggins steps out, steps back in. Wheeler leans in for the sign from Witherspoon. He's got it. Comes to the hip. Rocks and fires. Strike 3. 1 out. And that'll bring up Robbie Behrens, the third baseman.
Now batting the third baseman, number 7, Robbie
Behrens,
Berry.
a .321 hitter. He's got a triple, 4 doubles, and 12 RBIs this year as the senior steps in. Robbie is committed as well. I apologize, I don't have that information on hand. Wheeler, strike 1. One here in the bottom of the second inning. 3 hits and a walk have produced 1 Vieira run here. Wheeler's 0-1 to the senior third baseman. 0-2 now on the curveball. You can't play with him now. If you got him, you're in his head a little bit. You've thrown him a fastball. You've thrown him a curveball. I think you got to go right after him here with a fastball on the inside part of the plate, jam him up a little bit, and sit him down. Get back to the top of the lineup if you can do it. The 0-2 from Wheeler. He goes to the outside, but he gets him on the breaking pitch. 2 outs now. So the Vieira Hawks have gone from bases loaded to no outs to bases loaded and 2 outs as Malatino steps in. He struck out looking his first time up. Malatino came into the contest batting .329, 17 RBIs on the year, a lefty-lefty matchup, which always favors the lefty on the hill. Figure out which one. One and oh, so no place to put Jack. That'll miss, 2-0. So Malatino now right where he wants to be here, 2-0. Bases loaded, 2 outs, 1 in. Wheeler, and there's a ground ball to Brevin Smith up and over to first. And that'll end the inning. Great job by Wheeler to get out of that, just giving up one. But the Vieira Hawks do give the South Carolina commit something to think about in the middle of the lineup. They get 3 hits on one run on 3 hits, no errors, 3 left on base. We head to the top of the third, 1-1. All right, welcome back here to USSSA Stadium, where the Vieira Hawks, the last inning, sent 7 batters to the plate. Hammered out 3 hits, got a walk in there as well. Managed to push a run across to tie this thing up. Look, if you think that this is going to be anything other than a 1-run game, how about the regional championship back in 2019, 2-1 between these two teams. In 2018, it was 11-4, but Melbourne scored 7 runs in the 8th inning to win that in extra innings. And then there was another one that went to extra innings as well, as Jake Richardson steps in, and Wicker bounces that one back to the backstop for ball 1. Richardson grounded out to the second baseman his first time up. Back to the top of the lineup. Earlier this year, these two teams battled to a 1-0 game. That'll be outside, ball 2 to the center fielder. Michelle says, don't remind me. 2-0. So it's going to be a close one. That'll be high for ball 3. That's a good call by the home plate umpire. That ball was in the same exact place as the last one. He called it a ball, so that could be nothing other than a ball. I would imagine Jake will be taken here on 3-0, and Wicker, 4-pitch walk to lead off the top of the third. And that'll bring up Trey Wheeler, who singled in the right center field his first time up and scored on the petite double. Wheeler, outstanding hitter. In fact, last week in the district game, he hit a home run against, who'd they play, St. Cloud or Harmony? One of the two. St. Cloud, I think. Melbourne beat Harmony 5-0, so yeah, it was St. Cloud. He had a nice shot over a wall fence that was about as high as that one in center field there. Got all of it, about 380-foot shot. Wicker takes a peek over to first. The pitch. That'll be a strike on the outside corner. Richardson is a threat to run. And Melbourne will play small ball should the situation precipitate that. And Wicker takes a shot over, and he's thinking the same thing. Richardson with 11 stolen bases this year. Melbourne with 60 as a team, so they'll go. Thank you, Megan. 1-1. That is a lead, and Richardson's off and going. Sosa with a nice throw high, though, and in with a stolen base is Jake Richardson. That's his 12th of the year. Caleb hates it when I'm right. 1-2. To Wheeler, and that gets away, and no doubt Richardson's going to head to third. And on the pass ball, Richardson ends up at third. Now it's 2 balls and 2 strikes to Wheeler, who has an RBI opportunity himself. Wheeler this year, no stranger to a run batted in. He's got 22 of them. 8 Bulldogs have 15 or more RBIs this year. 6 Bulldogs with 20 or more. 2 balls, 2 strikes, nobody out here. Jake Richardson at first, and the infield is in as Wicker blows Wheeler away for the first out. Nice pitch there. And with 1 out, the infield will stay in to guard against the run as Michael Petit steps in. Petit double to the right center alley his last time up, driving in a run. So another RBI opportunity for Petit, who last time up picked up RBI number 34. Pitch, Petit swings and misses. Strike 1. Boy, wouldn't it be something if Wicker could get out of this with a runner at third, nobody out. Pitch coming. Strike 2 on the outside corner. In case you're wondering, we tilt the camera. If there's only a runner on first or third, we'll tilt the camera to show the runner at first or third for you. 0-2 now to Petit. Petit asked for and is granted time. So we are guaranteed to have at least 2 regional championship games in Brevard County in baseball next week. O'Galley will host Monday against New Smyrna Beach. The 0-2. He strikes him out, gets him to chase, and that's out number 2. And what a job by Camden Wicker to set down the number 2 and 3 batter as Jake Weatherspoon steps in. Weatherspoon grounded out, and this is a shot to Edion Espinal up and over to first. And oh my goodness, the Vieira Hawks pick up a little momentum there with a runner at third and nobody out. Wicker gets Wheeler and Petit to strike out, and Weatherspoon to ground out. No runs on no hits, no errors, 1 left. We head to the bottom of the third, 1-1. Well, you don't see that very often, and what I mean by that is 2 pitchers battle through situations where 1 out, bases loaded, and no outs with a runner at third. and essentially get out of it with just one run between the two teams. But that's how bad they want it. 1-1 Melbourne Viera as we head to the bottom of inning number 3 here as the Hawks get ready to send to the plate. Mikey Schmidt, Edion Espinal, and Alex Sosa. Once again, want to thank the Vieira Hawk RBI Club. And it's 31-6 Melbourne at the end of 3 and their spring game down south. So the Hawks, who come in very much a favorite in that 4S District 11, 4 Suburban District 11, 4-team district with Heritage, Harmony, and Vieira, honing their spring skills there. Schmidt grounded out back to Trey Wheeler, his first time up. As we head to the bottom of the 3rd here, 1-1. Mikey turns the bunt, pulls the bat back, ball 1. Identical line scores 1-3-0 for both teams. Bryson Ayala in at 3rd. Schmidt takes strike 1, 1-1. Scouts all over this park tonight. Scouts all over this park tonight. Right here. Radar guns clicking. Pitch. And that's a chopper right there in the circle behind the plate. Foul. But more importantly for Trey Wheeler, he is now ahead 1-2 to Mikey. Edion Espinal, the on-deck hitter. Wheeler gets the signal from Witherspoon. He rocks, kicks, and fires. Inside, and the count's even up at 2-2. Coming up tomorrow on Brevard Sports Network, we'll be down in West Melbourne for the May Day camp tomorrow. Get down there and talk to Marcus May and some NFLers. The pitch, and there's a ground ball. Ziegler over to first. Got him. And that'll be the first out of the inning. Nice play by Gavin. One out. Edion Espinal is up. Edion hit a ball about as hard as you can hit it last time up. And Bryson Ayala took a slight dive to his left and came up with the web gem of the night so far. Alex Sosa on deck. Wheeler delivers. And that'll be strike 1 to Edion. We are moving right along here, and he does it again, but this one is lined foul this time, and Edion is behind 0-2. See what Wheeler does here. Edion is a good protect the plate hitter. What?
His third base coach saying, hey, hit it out there, stop hitting it at me.
Right. And Edion fouls this off. You know, I've seen less people here. There's a lot of people here tonight. I used to come to minor league games that had less people. I mean, this has got a great atmosphere and a great feel to it tonight. It's just a buzz here. 0-2. Strike 3. Edion didn't like it, but it was there. And that'll be for Wheeler. His 4th strikeout of the night. And Edion's got to be careful to flash that kind of a look. As Alex Sosa steps in. Sosa singled his last time up. He's the only left-handed hitter I know that likes hitting off of left-handed pitching. But he does, and he does well against him. He did well against Trey last week in the district championship game. And he gets right up on that plate, and he just dares you. Tell you the other thing that Vieira did really well last week against Trey was they forced him to work deep into counts, which pushed him out of the game, I think, sooner than they wanted. This ball is fouled back and out of play, and the count will be 1-1. They worked counts full, 3-2, worked them to 2-2. If they fell behind 0-1, they made sure before they swung or looked it was a strike. And it worked. 1-1 to Alex. Lucas Glendenning on deck. 2 outs. And this one is rocked down the first base line, but foul. And now Wheeler is ahead of Sosa, 1-2. I mean, where else would you rather be tonight? I mean, look, you know.
Check FHSAA.com for the site and time for the game.
Tuesday, 7 o'clock at the winner of this one. 1-2, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. And Sosa channeling his inner Barry Gibb as he stays alive. Or Andy Gibb, or whichever Gibb sang the song. One and two to Alex. Wheeler fires. Strike 3. Weatherspoon's got to get him at first, and he does, and that'll end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors as Wheeler sets them down in order. We head to the top of the fourth. 1-1. Heard earlier tonight, Caleb, that Archbishop McCarthy had been eliminated. That broke my heart. I am, of course, being facetious. Welcome back here to USSSA Stadium as we've got a great game going here. And what did we expect? 1-1 between the Bulldogs and the Hawks here. And this thing got started quickly as Trey Wheeler singled and Michael Petit doubled in the first as they took a 1-0 lead in the top of the first. Vieira would answer in the bottom of the second as they would send 7 batters to the plate on 3 hits and a walk and plate a run as Alex Sosa would score, or Zion Hernandez for Alex Sosa. As we head to the top of the fourth with Gavin Ziegler, Ryan Hopping, and Brevin Smith due up for Melbourne. Busy week next week. We got graduations, regional championships, spring football. We're going to be doing it all here on Brevard Sports Network next week. In terms of spring football, we're going to have Holy Trinity and Satellite spring football game. Astronaut and Cocoa graduation. O'Galley Regional final baseball. We got Melbourne or Vieira regional baseball and Melbourne quarterfinal softball. I know. Yeah, thank you. Thanks for the heads up. 1-1 here as Wicker deals low for a ball to Gavin. Gavin struck out his first time up. Wicker with 5 strikeouts in this one. As Alex Sosa goes out to talk to his pitcher. I think he sensed he was overthrown a little bit during warm-ups.
Attention fans. Whoever left a pair of glasses in the bathroom can collect them down here at the announce room.
The pitch, and that ball is lofted into center. It's dying quickly, and nearly a great catch on his way to second. Slides as Graham McGowan says safe. What a great hustle play by Gavin Ziegler. Heck of an effort by Jack Malatino. The important thing is Jack kept the ball in front of him. And Melbourne gets a leadoff double. That's a hustle double all the way. As Ryan Hopping steps in.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, if you lost your glasses in the bathroom, we have a free pair down here labeled as currency glasses.
So a runner at second with nobody out here. And Ryan Hopping at the dish. Hopping, a left-handed power-hitting first baseman. Espinal creeps back to shortstop. Strike one to Ryan. Ryan struck out looking his first time up. Inside for a ball, 1-1. If you're wondering, like I am, whether or not Ziegler is a threat to steal and take off for third, I'll tell you after this pitch. I wouldn't with Alex Sosa having a clear path, but you never know. See if Ryan tries to lay one down here to advance him. Inside, ball 2. The answer to your question is he's got 6 stolen bases this year. As I feel the drizzling coming in over top of us. Pitch outside, and it's 3-1 to Ryan Hopping. So definitely a hitter's count now with nobody out. Brevin Smith on deck. Wicker rocks the arm. Comes to a set. The 3-1 inside, ball 4. First and second. That's not hateful, meaning that now it's first and second. So they got a force now here. If you are Vieira, you don't like the way that Camden's missing at the moment, and pitching coach will come out and have a chit chat with him about it. Top of the 4th, 1-1 here as a gathering of flock of hawks, I guess you'd call it, at the pitcher's mound.
Reminder, fans, the winner of this game advances to the regional championship at a site and time to be announced.
Ryan Hopping at first, Gavin Ziegler at second. Brevin Smith steps in. Smith popped out to, well, he didn't pop out. He hit one deep that died in the wind to Luke Campbell his first time up. Got under it just a little, and it caught the jet stream pushing in. But Brevin is certainly capable and has done it many times this year. He's hit some home runs. He's driven in some runs. He's got 20 RBIs this year. One of the 6 Bulldogs with 20 or more RBIs. So first and second, nobody out here. Feno Cruz comes in. They're expecting a bunt here. And he'll go down the right, foul out to right field. Station to station, though. First pitch swinging, Brevin Smith. Base hit. And oh my, you can do it once in the game. Can you do it twice? Bases juiced, nobody out.
Third baseman, number 21, Bryson Ayala.
As Ayala steps in, Bryson Ayala has been smoking hot at the plate. He singled his last time up. As he'll step out, and you can just tell he's feeling confident. The way he's jerking them shoulders around. As the infield is once again in, Behrens, Espinal, Dwiggins, and Cruz all in on the grass for the force at home. Wicker swung on and missed, strike one. Can the Bulldogs cash in this time? They got the right guy at the plate lately in Bryson Ayala for sure. That ball is driven into center field. That'll score 1 run. And tagging from third base will be Gavin Ziegler. And tagging from second to third is Ryan Hopping. And the Bulldogs take a 2-1 lead on the RBI sacrifice by Bryson Ayala. His 6th RBI in the last 2 games. Now it's first and third with Anthony. Actually, we're going to get a pinch hitter here as Braden Miller steps in. So Braden Miller will bat for Anthony Velez. Miller this year, a .222 hitter with 2 RBIs. I would imagine we may see some kind of a bunt play on here. I don't know if it'll be a squeeze, but I wouldn't be surprised to see if it was a bunt. Steps out. Just 1 out now. Steps back out, and Sosa steps out, and he's going to change a play here. Calls an audible, if you will. 2-1. Melbourne is taking the lead here in the top of the 4th. Wicker comes to the belt. He goes over to first, and Brevin Smith is back. They nearly had him. I thought they had him. Wow, that was close. As much as I despise those plays, they occasionally work. And it almost did there. And he does bunt, and they're going to come home with it, and that's a base running error. And Pete Donovan is furious, absolutely furious. That is a base running mistake. It was a perfect bunt. They had it timed perfectly. That would have advanced the runner, and instead they get the guy at home. And that is not how that was supposed to go there. As Jake Richardson steps in. Great play, though. Headsy play. by Behrens to wait patiently and then just flip the ball to Sosa for the easy out. And now it's first and second with 2 outs. And when you go from bases loaded, giving up just 1, now with an opportunity to get out of this, just giving up 1, it's another good job. But back to the top of the lineup, and Jake Richardson. Richardson walked and grounded out in this one as Wicker backs off. That's a good, patient play by Robbie Behrens again. He deked the throw. Outside, ball 1. Nice job by Alex Sosa, too, to put the tag on, and that's not always easy. Wicker, 1-0, 2-0. Nobody's there. Would have had him, but I don't imagine he'd be 20 feet off the bag if Fano Cruz was standing behind him either. 2 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Bulldogs. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors for Melbourne. 2 outs here in top of the 4th. 1 in, 2 on. Here's the pitch, and that ball is fouled back to the screen. And it's 2 balls and a strike now. Big lead at first, moderate lead at second. Richardson at the plate, looking at 2-1 from Camden Wicker. Sosa sets up outside. Here's the pitch. Strike 2. Great location by Wicker. Great job by Alex Sosa to set up and give his pitcher a big looking mitt to hit. The on-deck hitter is Trey Wheeler, and you do not want to face Trey with the bases loaded. 2-2-2. Deuces wild. Strike 3, and the Hawks get out of it, only giving up 1. But they get 1 as 2 runs, or 1 run, I should say, on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. We go to the bottom of the 4th. 2-1 Bulldogs. Welcome back. Here, going to take you off over in the distance and let you see what could potentially be moving in here. Now, I don't know if there are lightning detectors here. I would imagine there would have to be if high school baseball takes place here, but just saw lightning in the distance. And just keep in mind that should they go off, it would be a 30-minute delay at minimum. So, hasn't rained for a month. And all of a sudden, I'm going to see if I can get the Bulldogs to wave. Everybody wave. There they are, the Melbourne Bulldogs softball team down there in the front row, waving at the camera. You saw them in action last night. Where's the softball team? Where's the Vieira softball team? I can't hear you. Okay. Got the football team over there too. Everybody's here tonight. Even student athletes don't go to these schools are here. All right, we get set to head to bottom of the 4th. Lucas Glendenning steps in. It'll be Glendenning, Campbell, and Fano Cruz. Glendenning walked his last time up. 2-1 Melbourne here in the bottom of the fourth. And I think the thing you definitely want is to, I don't want no 5-inning game. Wheeler makes it strike 2, so he is quickly out in front of Lucas. 0-2. 0-2. And Lucas protects the plate. Wheeler working a little quicker than he did earlier in the game. And there's a ground ball. Ziegler up and over to first for out number 1. Ziegler played that hop well, and it's 1 out here. As Luke Campbell steps in. Luke singled his last time up.
The left fielder, number 8, Luke Campbell.
I can't see that radar gun. Can you see that radar gun? It's the pitch outside for a ball. I tell you what, I have been impressed with this umpiring crew. That's the best umpiring crew I've seen all year. I've probably just jinxed them. That ball is drilled into the gap to the left center field wall. Campbell around first on his way to second. Quickly retrieved, though. He'll slide in with a double. And the Hawks, Luke Campbell with his second hit of the night. And it's a double. And Vieira is in business with just 1 out. And that'll bring up Fano Cruz.
Now batting the first baseman, number 12, Fano.
I said that Kyler Dwiggins made that play, didn't I? It's Gavin Ziegler. Yeah, I am too, Megan. We're gonna get that. You know what? We're gonna find out. I'm gonna send Caleb down and do some spying here in a minute. Slide over, see if you can see that gun. I want to know what it says. Cruz, the pitch from Wheeler squares the bunt, and he'll grind it. Foul. He's not grinding it or grounding it. Or yes, he is grounding it. What's that gun say? That last pitch was 83 miles an hour. Caleb's got an eye on it now. See what that fastball comes up. He's been clocked in the mid-90s. 86 to 88 tonight he's in. Both pitchers. That ball is thrown into center field. Both pitchers have topped out at 89 miles an hour tonight. So nice job, Mark Thieren. That's correct. Yeah, 87 to 91. They've topped out. But you're right, Mark. That's the thing. Location and ball movement. And both Wicker and Wheeler have it. I don't want to face it. 0-1. Cruz reaches for that one, and it's 0-2. Luke Campbell with a multi-hit night, 2-for-2. As Cruz steps in, and really is, Kyler Dwiggins really is on deck, and not Gavin Ziegler. I've traded them for each other. 0-2. Wheeler rocks, kicks, and fires, and Cruz stays alive there. We need that right there. See that on hanging on the This is as much fun as I've ever had broadcasting sports as I have baseball and softball this year. The 0-2 to Cruz. Nice job by Trey Wheeler there, and that's finally the second out.
Hey fans, get out your tickets.
So a little 2-out rally necessary here for Vieira. They trail 2-1, 2-5-0, 1-4-0, respectively. The winner will host the regional championship game on Tuesday. If it's Vieira, it'll be here. If it's Melbourne, it'll be over at Dawson Field. Dwiggins struck out his first time up. Wheeler. That just drops right on in there for a strike from Trey. Nothing and one to Kyler. Outside for a ball, 1-1. Wheeler with 6 strikeouts tonight. One and one, 2 outs. Campbell at second. Smith creeps in to hold. Pitch, slow grounder back to Wheeler, turns, fires, and the 1-out double by Luke Campbell strands him at second. We head to the top of inning number 5, 2-1. Melbourne on top. So an outstanding job tonight by Camden Wicker, but we have got a new pitcher on the bump for the Melbourne Bulldogs, and not unexpected, by the way. We expected to see Dylan Jordan. This is where we saw him last week in the district championship game, and he did an outstanding job against the Bulldogs. So it will be Dylan Jordan taking over for Cam Wicker. Jordan 3-3 this year. With a 2.45 ERA. Jordan this year in 34 and a third innings pitched, 46 strikeouts. He's issued 18 walks, given up 21 runs, 12 of them earned, 28 hits. Opponents this year batting .217 against the sophomore. So last week, what Dylan and Camden combined to do against Melbourne was held them to 1 run last week. And that run was unearned, by the way. It was an unearned run. Once again, want to thank the Hawks RBI Club for their sponsorship of tonight's game. 2-1, Melbourne on top. As Alex Sosa heads out to talk to his new sophomore pitcher to set the signal straight. And for Melbourne this inning, going to be Trey Wheeler, Michael Petit, and Jake Weatherspoon. So last week against Melbourne, Jordan struck out 5 in 2 innings of work. The book tonight on Wicker, he goes 4 innings, strikes out 6, walks 1, gives up 5 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned. Jordan's got that one moving.
Ladies and gentlemen, now pitching for the Hawks, number 4, Dylan Jordan.
1-0 to Trey. Outside, make it 2-0. And there is pitch counts. There are pitch count rules that you have to adhere to. I'll tell you about them here in just a second. The 2-0 inside 3-0. Jordan's a sophomore. So, hold on. That's a strike. So, if you are 15 to 16 years old, essentially a sophomore age, you're only allowed to throw 95 pitches. And if you throw like more than 30, you got to get a day of rest. 46 to 62, 61 to 75 plus. For a guy like Wheeler, who's a senior, if he throws more than 76 pitches, he has to have 4 days rest. That gets away, and Wheeler will get a 5-pitch walk to lead off the top of the 5th. So, again, that's what cooked O'Galley last year. If you remember, they Archbishop McCarthy violated that policy. They were found to be illegal. And then a judge overturned the FHSAA's decision, forced O'Galley to have to play the next day instead of 4 days later, and the season was over. Michael Petit steps in. He has driven in one of the 2 Melbourne runs tonight with a double in the right center field gap, scoring Trey Wheeler back in the first. Petit struck out his last time up. Jordan's 1-0, and that's a ground ball up the middle, stepped on by Espinal over to first. Double play, unassisted by Edion Espinal. Couldn't have done it any better. And just like that, in the blink of an eye, there are 2 outs.
Espinal did a good job of making sure he stepped on second before.
That's a good point, Caleb. Caleb pointed out Trey walked. You're right. Caleb made a very good point there. Edion Espinal did a good job of making sure he stepped on that bag. Because if you don't get Michael Petit, who flies down the line, you at least have the lead runner. As Jake Weatherspoon steps in, he is grounded out twice to, guess who? Edion Espinal. Oh, and 1 from Jordan. Outside, ball 2. 2-1. Oh, Richardson. I'm thinking Wheeler. No.
Right down there.
1. Thank you, Mark. And that'll be outside, and we're back to a Deuces Wild situation. So the young sophomore, I'm not sure who Caden Colbert is, and I'm not sure who he's talking about. And there's a ground ball for the 3rd time tonight over a nice scoop by Fano Cruz. But, Caden, you're gone. We don't talk bad about the kids. So we don't have very many rules, but the one rule we do have is you do not talk derogatory about the student athletes. So there's no warning, you're gone. So that is 3 up and 3 down thanks to a double play from Edion Espinal. And that'll end the top of the 5th. We go to the bottom of the 5th, 2-1, Melbourne on top. Yep. Well, Billy, tell him to send me a message. I'll bring him back. But we just not when we got over 100 people watching. I can't decipher friends. 2-1. You can tell me I stink. All right, we head to the bottom of the fifth inning as Wheeler comes back out. Yeah, if you know him, Billy, just tell him to send me a message. And due up for the Hawks this inning will be Robbie Behrens. And then back to the top of the lineup with Jack Malatino and Mikey Schmidt. Looking forward to seeing you tomorrow, Billy. Billy, of course, president down there in West Melbourne. Youth football does a terrific job. I know he's been in the planning stages of the big May Day camp tomorrow from 11 to 3. Brevard Sports Network will be down there. Little YMCA going on. All right. Barron steps in. He struck out his first time up. Wheeler, strike one, the Barons. High for a ball, 1-1. I can't see the bullpens here, so I don't know if there's any activity. But if Pete Donovan was following suit for what he did last week, it would be Miller warming up in the bullpen. That catches the corner for a strike. And I'll tell you what, he is working a lot quicker than I've ever seen him work. The 1-2. And that ball is hit lined in the center field, but with a nice beat on it is Richardson, and that'll be the first out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Good contact by Behrens, but Richardson had to take one step. Jack Malatino steps up. Malatino is 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out and grounded out. Boy, this is just lining up to be one of those finishes, isn't it? That'll be a strike right down Wickham Road. 0-1. Strike two. Yes, John. Fairbanks is eligible to pitch. What Coach Donovan did last week is he went Miller, then Fairbanks. So I would imagine we'll see. We could even see Fairbanks next. Just missed. And for the first time tonight and only time tonight, all I can tell you is all that I know is that it missed. 1-2. Wheeler. Strike three. And that is the 7th strikeout of the night as Mikey Schmidt steps in. Schmidt is 0 for 2, grounded out to Wheeler and Gavin Ziegler, shortstop. And I would think that we may even see Tanner Fairbank in the next inning. Schmidt turns to bunt, trying to bunt for a 2-out base hit here. And it's a strike, 0-1. Wheeler right back to it. Rocks, kicks, and fires down the third base line. Tails foul. 0-2 now with 2 outs. So to welcome in Joe Elvis Tejada. Congratulations to Joe Elvis Tejada, part of the O'Galley Commodores, the outstanding O'Galley shortstop who had an outstanding game last night. The 0-2, and there's a ground ball. Ayala up and over to first, and that'll be the third out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. We head to the top of the 6th. Getting late, 2-1 Melbourne. In case you missed that last night, we were just talking about Joe Elvis Tejada and the job he did last night. How about that O'Galley pitching last night and the job that they did? Garrett Smith, and I tell you, David Morrissey last night getting out of a bases-loaded jam late in that one. You know, they had 10, 15 Major League scouts in the park last night, all there to see Ethan, I can't remember his last name for Cypress Creek, but who? Petrie? Yeah, I don't think his name was Petrie. Was it? Yeah, Petrie, right. Ethan Petrie, right. And it was O'Galley that impressed as just the job that Smith and Morrissey did, striking out 10, and they advance. And, you know, Riley Jackson with a solo home run in that one. And I thought O'Galley got ripped off going into the state tournament because they were a 1 seed the entire second half of the year. They win the district championship by 10 runs. And there's a ground ball, first pitch swinging. Espinal up and over to first. 1 pitch, 1 out. And so they beat Rockledge by 10 runs in the district championship and find themselves as a 2 seed. How does that even happen? But it all proves to come to fruition for O'Galley because Lake Mineola, who overtook them, was upset by New Smyrna Beach, a 10-15 team. And now O'Galley gets to host New Smyrna, rightfully so, in the regional championship. So congratulations to the Commodores. As Ryan Hopping steps in, outside for a ball. But just the job that Ryan Houston and Bobby Collins have done maneuvering that pitching staff at the end of the year with injuries and, you know, working people back into the rotation. And, you know, O'Galley is, how you doing, Tim? O'Galley is the only Brevard County team to reach the regional championship game 3 times in the last 6 years. Outside for a ball, 2-1. And we'll be there Monday night. And that ball is lined up the middle for a 1-out base hit. Ryan Hopping now 1 for 2. As Brevin Smith steps in. Smith singled his last time up and flew out to the left fielder in his first at bat. That ball is lined into the gap, and that's going to get down and into the gap, hopping around second, on his way to third. Quickly picked up, and he's going to be held. Nice job by the center fielder, Jack Malatino, to not let that ball get to the wall. But the predicament is second and third, and one out. Nice job by Brevin. That pitch tailed away, and Brevin Smith went with it. And this is going to bring up Bryson Ayala, Mr. RBI guy, as that's what he got his last time up, his 6th RBI in 2 games, as he flew out to the center fielder and drove in a run from third. And here comes the pitching coach, and we're going to chit-chat a little bit. And Robbie Behrens is called over. 2-7-0 for Melbourne, 1-4-0. I agree, John.
Hey fans, pull out those tickets again. If you have a number 5 on the back of your ticket, you just scored a gift card to Walk-On's Sports Bistro. Come on down and claim your prize. Looking for number 5 on the back of your game ticket.
A 5. That's a heck of a number. Used to be my favorite number as a kid growing up because of Brooks Robinson, the third baseman for the Orioles. 16 gold gloves, called him the human vacuum. All right. And the infield is once again in Behrens and Espinal, as first pitch swinging is Ayala. Cruz and Dwiggins all at or near the grass. The runner at second is Brevin Smith. Ryan hopping at third. Ayala, 0-1 from Dylan Jordan. The pitch, low, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Here's the pitch. That ball will get down. Hopping will score. And around third and on his way is Brevin Smith as the ball is bobbled. As Bryson Ayala continues to scorch the ball. And the Bulldogs add 2 and take a 4-1 lead. Eight RBIs for Bryson Ayala in the last 2 games, and that's going to do it for Dylan Jordan as they get a little deeper into the Melbourne bullpen here. And coming up, get that piece of gum out as Dylan Jordan comes off. And I talked about this with skipper Pete Donovan before the game. If you look at the Melbourne lineup tonight, 6, 7, 8 tonight for the Bulldogs. Ryan hopping, a walk, a single, and a run scored. Brevin Smith, 2 for 2, a run scored. Bryson Ayala, 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. You get that kind of production from your 6, 7, and 8 hitters, and you get a 4-hit, 7 strikeout performance, you're in good shape. Thank you. The new pitcher is going to be Luke Campbell for the Vieira Hawks, and Luke has done an outstanding job this year as he comes on. Campbell, 2-1 this year. His ERA is 0. Hello, Mandy. Is 0 this year. Campbell, 8 1/3 innings pitched. He's usually the closer. Has given up 1 run, and it was not earned. Struck out 10, walked 4. As I said, in 8 1/3 innings pitched. Opponents are batting just 200 against him. Still just one out here. Down. And Bryson Ayala has just 5 RBIs in the district championship game. Or I'm sorry, not the district championship. 5 RBIs in the regional quarterfinal game the other night. And now 2 tonight. And he's a freshman. Top of the 6, 4-1 Melbourne. As Luke Campbell takes his final warm-up tosses. Not sure who the batter's going to be. Last time up, it was Miller for Velez. We'll see if Velez checks back in. All right, as Dwiggins and Cruz come out. 4-1 here, 1 in the first, 1 in the fourth, and 2 here in the top of the 6th for Melbourne, 1 in the second for Vieira. And again, history, right? I mean, you can't ignore it, especially sports history, right? And the 3 previous matchups that this, and I know I'm kicking it to nauseum, but it just blows my mind that, you know, if Melbourne holds on to win here, this would be the 4th time that the team that has won the district championship has lost in the regional semifinals. That's crazy. Just tells you how good these programs are and how closely matched they are. Dylan Jordan will move to the outfield, and Anthony Velez steps in. Velez was pinch hit for his last time up, but he struck out his first time up, turns the bunt, and sends that straight back to the screen. Still just 1 out. Velez, 0-1. Squares the bunt again, drops down a beaut, but it rolls foul. So now it's 2 strikes here. Wouldn't be surprised at all with a 3-run lead to see Donovan give him the bunt sign again with 2 strikes. We've seen it a couple of times this year in high school baseball. We saw Danny Widener do it on a suicide squeeze. 0-2 now to Velez, and Robbie Behrens thinks he could turn and bunt. He swings this time and strikes out. 2 outs as Campbell comes on. Go back to the top of the lineup with Jake Richardson. Richardson struck out, walked, and grounded out tonight. Back up a hair. A little more. All right. Swung on and missed. 1-1. You see the runner at first on the right side of your screen there is Bryson Ayala. Bryson, a.k.a. RBI Ayala. 1-1. He's off and running. Sosa throws. Got him. Nice throw by Alex. Good tag by Espinal. And that'll end the inning, but not before the Melbourne Bulldogs score 2 more And they lead it 4-1 going to the bottom of the sixth. All right, welcome back to USSSA Stadium. A little bit of Garth Brooks playing in the background there. Ain't going down till the sun comes up. And what's that? Yeah, well, he ain't that old, buddy. Just easy with the age there. Brooks ain't in his upper 60s. No way he could be. As Trey Wheeler takes the mound again. All right, let's see here. Now I got to look. Wheeler, you're not taking the ball out of his hand. That's for sure. He wants in. Nah, man, he's 59. That's not old, dude. Yeah, he's been two people. Edion Espinal steps in to start the bottom of the sixth inning. Going to be Espinal, Sosa, and Glendenning here. You know, just where Trey Wheeler came out last week, and I think the Bulldogs felt maybe took him out a little early. Wheeler rocks, kicks, and fires, and he blows that one by Edion for strike one. Edion tonight struck out his last time looking and lined out to Bryson Ayala, who made a nice defensive play. Rocks and fires, outside corner, 1-1. Yeah, remember, Rolling Stones toured until Mick Jagger was in his early 70s. Still sold out. 1-1. And there's a shot right back to Wheeler. He'll run it over. Flips to Hopping. 1 out. As Alex Sosa steps in. Sosa struck out his last time up and singled. You can get normally what you're looking for as a manager are 3 pitch outs. That's what you're looking for. And Wheeler has been in that all night. Has been in that all night. Alex Sosa steps in. 1 out here in the bottom of the sixth. Weatherspoon sets up on the corner, and Wheeler hits it perfectly. Strike one to the junior catcher. 406 he was batting coming in. The 0-1 just missed on the inside corner. 1-1. Good pitch location, though. I liked it. And that one is off a Hopping. And Ryan with a shot. I'm not sure where that one slipped out of his hand. I'm not sure what happened there. But down to second base. That's a single and an error. As Alex Sosa That's the first error of the game by either team. That's how well this game has been played as Zion Hernandez comes in to run. And Lucas Glendenning steps in.
Number 1, Zion Hernandez. Now batting for the Hawks, the designated hitter, number 17, Lucas.
That ball was scorched. Scorched. Hopping knocked it down. I'm not sure what he was trying to do with the throw there. I think it slipped out of his hand. And that ball is lifted down the right field line, but foul. Oh, and 1 to Lucas. Wheeler from the belt fires. Ooh, just missed. I think that'd frustrate me a little bit. And the other thing, too, was last week, both pitchers, Wicker and Wheeler, had a strike zone about the size of a clipboard. And there's a shot. Brevin Smith stays down on it, up and over to Hopping. Out number 2, over to third base goes Zion Hernandez. Nice job by Brevin there as Luke Campbell steps in. Campbell with a couple of hits in this one, a single and a double. The Hawks could sure use one here. 2 outs, runner at third. Wheeler. Strike 1. Oh, and 1 to Luke. Can he keep the solid night going? He's 2 for 2. That's high. 1-1. The umpires in the stands wanted a strike, but it was high. Nice block by Jake Weatherspoon there. That is not easy to do. We talk about it constantly, about how instinctual it is for a catcher to want to turn left or right. But catchers nowadays, I mean, these high school catchers, we have great catchers in Brevard County, and they just square up and block the ball. And that ball is lifted into center field. Petit is there, and he hauls it in right center for the third and final out. No runs on 1 hit, 1 error, 1 left. We head to the top of the 7th, 4-1. Melbourne on top. Top 7, 4-1 Melbourne on top. Luke Campbell back on here. I have to think any runs that Melbourne would potentially score here would pretty much ice this thing, but we've seen craziness in this game. Remember, a couple of years ago, this was a 4-4 game heading into the 7th 4-2 game. Vieira tied it up 4-4, and then Melbourne scored 7 runs in the top of the 8th. They'll win it 11-4. All right, as Jake Richardson is back at the plate. He was up when Ayala was thrown out at second base. He gets a fresh count. Richardson tonight struck out, walked, and grounded out. Trey Wheeler on deck. 0-1 to Jake. That drops in beautifully, I thought. But then I sound like the umpires in the stands. 1-1. Luke Campbell. That ball's fouled back and into the protective netting. 1-2. What do we got? We got 115 people watching. If anybody out there is a hockey fan and can tell me what the Capitals are doing against the Panthers, I would greatly appreciate it. Mark says, I remember that. Yeah. Mark, were you here for the game in the regionals when the lights went out? Two and two. Outside, count is full to Jake. It's been everything I thought it would be here tonight. Strike 3, tied at 1. Thank you very much, Jeff. I appreciate that. 1-1 second. Thanks, guys. As Richardson goes down on strikes. Trey Wheeler steps in. Wheeler just outstanding job tonight. He is 1 for 3 at the plate. Luke, that one is fouled back and out of play. Yeah. It was crazy. We were here that night broadcasting that. 0-1 to Trey. Pitch. Nice looking pitch. Barons backhands it and throws. Got him. No. Thought he had him. The bobble cost him. And that's an error. So, official score says flashes an E. As Wheeler will come out for a pinch runner, I'm sure. As Michael Petit steps up, and your pinch runner is, who is that young man? I think it's Jackson Hall. Sophomore Michael Petit steps up. Petit tonight doubled with an RBI, struck out, and last time up, grounded out to Edion Espinal. His last time up. I think Bob Doty looking for a little clarification. Not sure about what. I missed it. I think he thought he got him. Michael Petit. I actually checked that. It's I want to make sure I get the right guy. Ty Keeley comes in to run. Still another sophomore. 1 out here with Petit. Campbell rocks, kicks, and fires. Petit with a ground ball in the hole. Nice job by Kyler Dwiggins to shade to his left to pick it up and throw out Petit for the second out in the inning. Down to second base goes Ty Keeley. I'd like to welcome in Coach David Kintai. Congratulations, Coach, on a great job tonight by your Bulldogs in the spring game. As Jake Weatherspoon steps in with 2 outs here and a 4-1 Bulldog lead. Big night tonight for Melbourne football. And then in the other jamboree tonight, I'll tell you about that. There was a jamboree up in Titusville tonight. Here's the pitch outside for a ball, 1-1. But Hunter Turner with a 48-yard touchdown pass to Jalen Clark. A fumble, scoop, and score by Eli Bostic, and a field goal for Melbourne tonight. 1-1 to Witherspoon down. They might have him. They got him. Oh, no. I'll tell you what. Eddie and Aspinall may not like it, but I'll tell you what. Graham McGowan is right there on top of it. And if Graham said he got back, he got back. And Bob Doty's going to come out and ask him. Well, I'm going to tell you something. That guy right there is a heck of an umpire. And there's not a lot of umpires that I would say this about. But if he said he's safe, he's safe. I promise you. Yeah. I know the ball beat him there, but trust me, Graham's one of the best. I will. If I'm wrong, then I'll apologize. But I guarantee I got you. And that's the deception of the ball beating the runner, which it did. I mean, the ball clearly beat the runner there. That was just a great throw by Sosa. Here's the pitch. Mark says I'm just saying that because he's bigger than me. Graham spent some time broadcasting with us, and I'll tell you, I definitely, I guess I'm a little biased. Outside, and that's a walk to Weatherspoon. So 2 outs, first and second, and this is going to bring up Gavin Ziegler. He said, I'm just saying that because he's big. Yeah, that he is. Yeah, no doubt, Jordan.
Now batting the shortstop, number 16, Gavin Ziegler.
4-1, Melbourne on top here. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. The Hawks are down to their last 3 outs coming up in the bottom half of the inning. Campbell first and second. Cannot afford to give up any more here. That is for sure. That'll really become an issue if somebody scores here. Swung on and missed. Ryan hopping on deck. 1-1 with 2 outs here. Campbell outside. You can see that coming. I was just going to say he is really towing the right side facing, left side of that rubber. And that ball went exactly where his release point and his foot landed. Campbell rocks, kicks, and fires, and that one is fouled back and out of play. And that's a souvenir.
Someone tried to catch that barehanded, and they paid for it.
Give that fan a contract. That's what they used to say up at Memorial Stadium when a fan would catch one or save somebody from getting hit by a foul ball. Rex Barney, the public address announcer, would say, give that fan a contract. And that one is fouled straight back to the screen, and that took out 2 other baseballs that were sitting up behind the screen. So 2 on, 2 out, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Certainly a deuces wild situation now. 4 twos on the table as Campbell steps off. Thank you, Cheryl. Good to see Cheryl Velez. Here's the pitch. And there's a ground ball to Barons. Backs up on it, stops, throws, safe, and it hits. And all the way around to score here is going to be Keeley. And that is a big insurance run. As the throw by Barons, he had to wait. And the throw by Barons, actually, Vieira got a little lucky there because the throw hit Ziegler. If it didn't hit Ziegler, it goes all the way and another run would score. And it's 5-1. So I'm telling you, I'm hoping Graham was right on that one. Ryan Hopping steps in with 2 outs and 2 on here. Pitch, swung on and missed. Strike 1. Outside. Well, I got Ty Keeley and Ty Ostrander. And Ty Ostrander's not playing. Campbell, nothing in 2. Strike 3. Strikes out Ryan Hopping to end the inning. But the Melbourne Bulldogs add 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, 2 left. Hawks down to their final 3 outs as we head to the bottom of the 7th. 4-1 Melbourne, 5-1 Melbourne. You got to love the competitive nature of Trey Wheeler not taking the ball out of the South Carolina commit, Southpaw's hand as he returns. I would imagine the leash is short, though, for this one as he takes a 5-1 lead into the bottom of the 7th inning. And due up for, I imagine we'll see pinch hitters. Due up will be Fano Cruz, Kyler Dwiggins, and Robbie Barons. But I already see Logan Keith is on deck. What's that?
They want to shout out to somebody.
Shout out to Jim Gagan from Tim Stockton, Tim Miller, and Rick Bratman.
Tim, I'll tell you, why don't you come here and give it to him?
Hey, Jim Gagan, we got a message for you.
We want to say, how you doing, from Tim Miller.
And Rick Bratman, and why aren't you here?
And Tim Stockton, I hope you surf today.
There you go, Tim Stockton from Uberzati. Of course, we love Uberzati, big partner of ours here at Brevard Sports Network. 1-1 to Fano Cruz. That ball is lofted into right field. Back on his horse goes Michael Petit, and he hauls it in for the first out. 1 out. Nice job, guys.
Check your tickets one more time and look for the back of the ticket. If you have number 4 on the back of your ticket, you just won a gift card.
All right, Logan Keith steps in as Logan, a 190 hitter this year. He's got 2 triples, 2 doubles. The Hawks down to their final 2 outs of the 2021 season. Coming up after the game tonight, I will be doing interviews. Normally I don't until the team reaches the but I want to talk to Bryson Ayala with the week that he's had. I think the young man deserves it. Right on the outside corner, strike one from Trey Wheeler. No problem, Coach. As the Hawks hang on here, and I don't see any reason why they shouldn't. Bryson Ayala will be our Uberzani player of the game here tonight. 1-1. That ball is lifted into center field. Richardson on his horse and tracks it down for the second out here. Final out. And it's down to Robbie Behrens here. And the Melbourne Bulldogs are 1 out away from advancing to the regional championship game and continuing that unbelievable trend of losing a district championship and winning in the regional semifinals. I'd like to thank all of you for tuning in here tonight. 5-8-1. Oh, that nearly hit him. As Behrens looks at ball one. The whole way for Trey Wheeler. High for ball two. Two and 0, 3-0 to Behrens. He can taste it. He can feel it. And that's where he is right now. The final out is so hard to get because you're in your own head. That's a strike on the outside corner. On deck hitter would be Jack Malatino. He would be next. Foul back to the screen, and it's a full count. Now to Behrens. Will it be a walk or an out or the eighth and final strikeout of the night for Wheeler? Wheeler rocks, kicks, fires. Outside, ball four. A 2-out walk. And there's life as Malatino comes to the plate.
Now batting for the Hawks, the center fielder, number 2, Jack Valentino.
You just can't care about that runner. He let him run around the bases all night long. Just go get the batter. Malatino. One and 0 to Jack, and it's 2-0. Wheeler has thrown 6 straight balls now. No score. I don't have an update on Lake Highland Prep and Winter Haven. The 6 and 7 seeds. Malatino turns and looks at strike one. I said Lake Highland Prep. I meant Lakeland and Winter Haven. I'm sorry. 2-1 to Malatino. That ball is fouled back and out of play, and so another Deuces Wild situation for Wheeler here. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs as the Melbourne faithful get the hands going. And will the turn card be the 3rd out of the game? Or a 3rd ball? Or a hit? Wheeler comes to the belt. He rocks, kicks, fires as Malatino stays alive. And it remains 2-2. We'll have the regional championship games for you Monday and Tuesday. We will also have softball for you. We do need sponsors for Melbourne, so reach out if you're interested. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Winter Haven is up 3-0. Okay. So we'll know tomorrow. Thank you, Jeremy. Strike 3, and the Melbourne Bulldogs defeat the Vieira Hawks 5-1 and advance to the 6A-3 regional finals for the first time since 2018. Our Uberzani player of the game is freshman Bryson Ayala. Ayala tonight with 3 RBIs in this one. And we will go down and get some interviews. I think we'll name Trey Wheeler the co-MVP as well tonight. Wheeler with just a great job tonight, striking out 8 and giving up just 5 hits and 1 run. So that'll do it. Your final score from USSSA Space Coast Stadium. The Melbourne Bulldogs, for the first time since 2018, advance to the regional finals as they win 5-1. For Caleb Brown, we want to thank the Vieira Hawk RBI Club for their support and sponsorship. I'm Alan Slaughter-Zinski for the Brevard Sports Network. Once again, Melbourne 5, Vieira 1. Have a great night, everybody.